Hey, this is Brett, picking winners and losers in real estate. Go to chapter 12, rental rates and marketing. I mean, we're going to be going into some detail. Some of the stuff that I have up here is not in the book, so just take notes. That's why I did the videos. This is more of just a guide, more than a book for the course. So I'll be going over everything in the book and some more. So first of all, we're going to talk about Zillow. Zillow, for values of homes and stuff, as I've mentioned before, is not good. But for rental rates, it is good. So when you're looking for a rental rate in the areas that you're buying houses, Zillow is a great place to do it. I have what's called the 10% rule. So if I see something in there for $1,100, I might think it's worth $1,200 because most property managers like to put the lower priced rents in there because it's easier to rent and they don't have to work it as hard, and it's just a lot easier for them. So sometimes if you're in the better areas and you have a rehab and ready to go, 10% rule is good. So if it's 1,000, 1,100, maybe 1,200, 1,150. I had a house over in right on Puritas in Cleveland, which is a busier street. It was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and that's why I bought it. But usually those houses in there rent for $1,200 a month. But because it was on a busy street, I wanted to make it attractive, so we rented for $1,150. But the price kind of reflected on what we were getting, and we got it at $1,150 a month. We have a happy couple in there. It's all good. So, you know, if you're on a busy street or if you're inside a subdivision, though, use that 10% rule, especially if you're in a nicer subdivision. Make sure you got, when you're looking at the rental rates, pull up the houses, and in most cases they have pictures. Make sure you look at the pictures and see what condition the house is in. I mean, has it got new paint? Does it look clean? Does it look dirty? Because that's going to reflect if it's going to, you know, the rental rate. I had a house over in Parma we were looking to buy, and he had it rented at $800 a month. That's a $1,200 a month property. But as I walked into the house, I could quickly find out why he had it $800. It was a mess. So, so make sure you look at the photos and videos if they have them. And the updates, make sure the updates, like, is the kitchen redone, is it painted, new flooring, you know, does it look nice? I was going over houses today with a client, and I showed them the different houses that were priced at a certain price, and they were looked like brand new. So it reflected their price, but their house also looked like brand new. So I just was showing it to them because that was the correct price for that house. Another example is we were renting a house over in Cleveland one time. It was over on the west side. Most houses over there rented for $1,000. But as we looked at the house, when you walk into the back, it was a nice big sunroom. And that was a big plus because the rest of the house was the same as the rest of them except for the sunroom. So we rented it for $100 more than what the top rates at 10% were because it had this big sunroom. People loved it. I rented it very quickly. So make sure that you look at different stuff like that when I go into a house. Like, for example, a house over on West 156 that we're renting right now. The whole house is the same except for there's an add-on on the back. It's huge. So it's a family room. So you have a family room, kitchen, living room, where most of them just have a living room, dining room, kitchen. This one has a family room, kitchen, living room, but it's a huge family room, so it has a lot of square footage, plus the lot is larger. So that's huge. So be aware of what you're buying. Like in Bedford, I know, Ohio, that if we don't have a dining room, that hurts us on the rent. So make sure like it has a dining room, you know, apples for apples. All the rooms are there, or if they're not, calculate for that. So that would be like a $50 difference on that. One client bought one over on Gould. He didn't buy it from me, but it doesn't have a garage. Very, very hard to rent in a cold area because people want to put their cars in the garage. Power of the MLS. Well, the one thing about using licensed realtors, when you put something in the MLS, it's huge power. People don't realize it, but it goes to Realtor.com, Zillow. They have contracts with all of them, HotPads, you know, all the different, anything you can imagine. All the brokerages, Redfin, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Keller Williams, EXP Realty, which I work for. They have all these different websites. It just automatically goes, it populates. I was talking to a client today who had 66 views in the last 2 days on Zillow, 4 saves. But I didn't have to do any of that. It all did it through the MLS. So that's the power the MLS is going to get on all the realtor sites, all the, a lot of the social sites, and a lot of different places that you're not going to be able to manually put all those in. It goes to hundreds of websites. So that's one of the powers. But open houses, you can have open houses with rental properties. Most people think open houses is houses that you put up for sale, but we have open houses tonight. We have last night, tonight, tomorrow night. We have open houses from 5 to 6 because this is when people get off work. So when you're looking at that stuff, make sure you have open houses on yours. If the MLS, even if the realtor can't be there and you can be there, you be there. But it's very important to get this house shown, and one way to do that is open houses. And we get in the wintertime it slows down a little bit, but in the spring, summer, and fall, we had one over in Painesville that we literally had 20-some people waiting out for us when we got there. So if you market it right, you get it rented very quickly, and open houses is just another tool for that. Facebook Marketplace, wow, Facebook Marketplace, you can get a lot of play. If it's on the MLS, make sure it's on Facebook Marketplace also, because you can put 50 pictures in there and you can get a lot of play on that. About 2 to 4% of them actually show up sometimes in the winter. In the summertime, it's a little bit more. Not everybody that goes is going to show up when they say, but you get the word out. It's a good way to market your house and get it rented. And it's free. CRM. As a realtor, I have KV Core as a CRM, so every day almost, not every day, but almost, all my listings, I go, there's a place that I can put on Craigslist every day. So all my stuff goes on Craigslist every day. People go, Craigslist? I never go on Craigslist. There's a lot of people that still do, and it's a great way to get your stuff shown. We've sold many homes through there. So don't forget about Craigslist. And if you're doing it through a realtor, make sure they have a CRM that can automatically populate every day, because I just press one button, boom, it's done. So make sure that you have all that, because it's very important, and that's why a CRM is so important, because you can be put on Craigslist. But even if you don't have it, make sure that if you only have one house, it's not a big deal to put it on Craigslist every single day. And then showing the house, make sure that you have some idea, if you have a realtor, when are they going to show the house? Are they just going to list it and forget about it? Because most realtors do. So you want to check it, because when we go out, we show them every day, because I want all the commission, obviously, but still, I want to get them rented faster. The more I show it, the more they get rented. We picked up a house over in Mayfield Heights, excuse me, that been on the market for, I think, over 2 months, and we rented it in 2 days, because they were tired of waiting for those people. But that's because we met the people over there, and they're still there today. So make sure that your realtor is actually going to go out, because a lot of them just throw it on the MLS and forget about it. But that's not the way to do business. You must have a realtor that's going to go out and show it, have open houses, be active in getting your place rented. And commissions. I charge a first month's rent. It's not cheap, but you know what? The faster you get a tenant in there, a quality tenant, the faster you're going to start collecting money. So if it just sits on the market, nobody's there, what good is that? There could be stuff, people break in, there could be all kinds of stuff happen with an empty house. So you want to get it populated as fast as possible. And what's good about a realtor, if they do their job right, you're going to have many more eyes on it. So it's going to keep your rents high. It's going to let you get the cream of the crop for the tenants. We just put one over, and I had one open house. It was in January. It was cold, and it was snowing a little bit. One guy showed up over on East 300th and took the house. His FICO score was 853. It was a quick deal. Background credit check, good. They're living there today. So you just never know. One person, if you're having an open house from like 5 to 6 and nobody's came at 5:50, don't leave. Stay till 6. I had a house over on 17600 Forestwood. It was the week before Christmas that I had nobody. Thank God they had Christmas lights across the street that I could at least see. Everybody was shopping. So at 6 o'clock, getting ready to leave, the lady pulled up, and she lives there today. So I rented the house because I stuck around. And so you just have to be there, you have to show it. It takes time sometimes in certain months, but other months it's quick. But make sure that your realtor or you or whoever's doing the open houses stay there for the time allotted there. You can, it's very nice. And when you put an open house in the MLS, it populates the Zillow, Realtor.com, all those, so everybody sees it on the way over here. I actually got a call from someone who wanted to make sure we were going to be at the open house tonight. So it works. Commissions, like I said, pay them the first month's rent. I mean, if you're going to get the best, if you want to get the best, pay for the best, and the best is the first month's rent. And Lori kind of came up with, my wife who's a broker for this property manager, come up with a little trick that she does all the time. She does a 13-month lease. So basically, you're getting your commission free for a 12-month lease. So it works out very well, and that way, the first 12 months is, a lot of realtors write up a 12-month lease and so it'll be 11 months. We do a 13-month. So make sure they do a 13-month lease. And we've had no pushback at all from tenants. So it's very nice. Signs, make sure there's signs, and I should have probably put lock boxes on there. So you have to have lock boxes and signs on every house, because when you have it on the MLS, there's other agents that want to see it. So if they want to show it, they've got to have a code to get in. So make it very easy for them. On the MLS, make sure they do, in Ohio they call it go and show, meaning that they don't have to actually call and do an appointment. They just hit a link. In Arizona, it's a box that you have a code on, and if it's vacant, you can go in there anytime. You just have to have your key, app on your phone to get it open. So I don't know what state you're in or where you're at. Just see what that is, but just make sure that they have a code, a lockbox, and a sign at your house. So that about does it for the rental rates. The key to getting the best rental rates is to get a lot of people on it. Just like selling a house, you got to get people's got to see your product. If they don't see your product through Facebook and Zillow and Realtor.com and Homes.com and all these hot pads, Craigslist, all these other places, then you're not getting you're not getting everybody you can get to look at that house. So make sure that you do that, because you want to bombard everything on the marketing. And this is kind of how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how I rent every house. I've rented hundreds of homes, and almost 95 to 96% of the time we get the top rents. So catch you on the next one, on the next chapter. Thanks. See you soon.